Hey guys, Eddie here. I'm really excited about today's showing. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time, and I finally just got around to finding enough candidates to take a lot of pictures and do like a little documentary photo summary of explaining a lot of things about the difference in screen repairs, the quality and workmanship. So I ran up on an iPhone 7 Plus the other day that had been previously repaired by another store. And it was a perfect example, hitting probably about 80% in one phone of issues that we see from what I'll call jackleg repairs, or, it's the difference of, today I'm going to show you the difference between what I like to affectionately call a 10 or 15 minute wham bam thank you ma'am repair versus a full service repair. It's also going to cover basically the same thing as that, as it's going to tell you the difference between a $50 screen repair for a 7 Plus, $50 or $60 repair, versus a $99 repair. It's not all about price. A lot of people don't realize there is a ton of different quality of screens, and there's a whole lot of shortcuts you can take. And today, I'm going to show you pictures. So here is a good side-by-side explaining just the different levels of screen quality. I mean, you've got OEM, original Apple type screens. You've got refurbished screens, which are pretty much as good as the OEMs. You also have extremely high quality aftermarkets, then you've got mid-grade aftermarkets, and then you've got cheap stuff, and then you've got really cheap stuff. So here's a nice visual. While the original photo of this one wasn't that good, it's a little blurry. Look at the brightness of the LCD. So this is a quality screen, and I've had this this is a quality screen like the ones we use, and I've put that side by side with an OEM screen, and you can't tell the difference as far as LCD color and things like that. So it's a really nice bright display. This is a notch or two down. You can see the difference in the blue tint, and then this right here is a perfect example of the lowest quality you can get. All three of these are at full brightness. None of the power saving modes turned on, full brightness, as bright as it can possibly get. All showing the same screens with white background. So the story tells a lot. So getting to the 7 Plus screen repair, what I want to do, this is initially making the entrance to remove the screen. So when we pry this up, just to kind of break the original water seal gasket, you'll notice right here, first of all, the screen was so cheap that the digitizer glass LCD assembly had actually started separating from the actual screen frame assembly, which fits into the phone frame. So yeah, and you're going to see this a little bit worse as I get into this. And then up here, you see a hint of the actual paint coming apart or off of that screen, because this was a really low grade quality screen. And here's another shot at that, and I've seen a lot worse than that. That's actually not too bad. Sometimes they just go bonkers. So here's a good example of, like, once I actually got the screen detached, you could see how, very little adhesive during the assembly and manufacturing of this screen. So, and a lot of times when it separates from that, it'll do damage to the flex cable, and therefore you lose touch. And of course, a shoddy repair wouldn't be complete without missing screws. This one, by chance, only was missing one. I've seen some of them that missed tons of stuff. So once we peel the screen back, I kind of, just open it like a book over here. You can look in the frame of the phone and also the edge of the screen. There's absolutely no adhesive on either one of these. So whoever did the previous repair, now granted, whenever you crack the seal of an iPhone, whether it's for a battery screen or anything, when you break the original factory seal, it's no longer considered water resistant. Even if Apple Store does screen repair, they won't consider it water resistant anymore. It has to be the original seal as it's shipped from China. So while it's not necessarily going to be water resistant anyway, that's one of the things we do, is we actually replace the screen adhesive there, because it has other benefits besides just water resistance. And I'll show you some examples of that here shortly. So then going on to the screen disassembly, here we have the front facing, what we call the FFC, the front facing camera flex. It's got the connections for your ear speakers, selfie camera. Right here is supposed to be a sensor. Then you got the ear speaker mic right there. And then, you've got about 4 or 5 major components in this little flex assembly. And what I wanted to point out right here, there's actually supposed to be an alignment bracket like you see right here for this. There's supposed to be an alignment bracket right there for the proximity sensor to make sure it stays in line with that glass openings, and there's not even a bracket at all there. So I'm sure that that feature was coming and going as the phone jostled around inside. So another angle, once I actually got it out and opened it up, this shows a lot of different things where shortcuts were taken. Like I said, right here, you were supposed to have like a little plastic bracket of some sort. There's the original microphone adhesive, and that works. You know, this microphone is for selfie videos or FaceTiming, you know, a lot of different things. That's the original adhesive that came with the screen, but you see here, this phone's been repaired a couple of times, 1, 2, maybe 3 right there. So this phone has undergone several screen repairs, and the previous techs never bothered to remove, you know, their pancake stack in this adhesive, which has little meshes right here. And so over time, when those build up, that could affect the performance of that being able to pick up sound. Right here, you know, this originally comes from Apple. You have these exposed connectors. They have black tape covering that, so you're not going to have, you know, that's going to be covered for protection, and also just so it doesn't touch anything. You don't have to use like a black type electrical tape that comes from Apple, just any type of insulation type to cover that and not have that exposed. I've seen a lot of selfie cameras not even have alignment brackets. At least this one has that one. So that's a screenshot with multiple issues: missing bracket, multi-stack pancake adhesive strips for the microphone, and this being exposed. And here's me removing the first layer, and then you got another 1 or 2 layers there. And then now I've finally gotten to the last layer, and when you peel that off, you can see it's back down to the original, and then you'll have one clean seal that's usually in the frame that can stick to, and then you have a nice opening right there for the microphone. Now I know this is kind of blurry and I apologize, but here you can see this is nice and cleaned right here. And then also we've installed a layer of Kapton heat resistant tape to cover these open connectors. So this is part of the build back process when you're transferring components and inspecting everything at a very high level. All right, so what you didn't see, like that's also like put in after that flex we just discussed, this is the actual ear speaker. And it's not uncommon, you know, it does have magnets in it, so it's not uncommon that things will make it through the actual ear speaker mesh that's built into the screen that also gets clogged, and we do that on a regular basis, cleaning that out. But what does make it through will adhere to this little opening. This is the actual speaker, and this looks like stalactites or whatever you want to call them, growing out of it. So, and we clean that too. During the disassembly, we will clean that, and then after we clean it, it'll look like this, which is what it's supposed to look like when it's brand new. So it's not just a matter of ripping the screen off and slapping another one on there. It's actually carefully going through and making a lot of corrections, a lot of cleaning, so that after the screen repair, you're going to have the optimal performance, whether it be the speakers are louder, the ear speakers are louder, the microphones pick up better, you know, just whether or not the screen is going to re-crack again because they don't do a lot of the frame correction. So here's the new screen I'm prepping. You see the nice clean adhesive there for the mic we just talked about. And here you have actually, this is a high quality screen, so you actually have a built-in permanent with the screen, not a separate bracket, but you have a built-in bracket for that so that you can have perfect alignment for that in here. So this is the new screen I'm installing. And of course, before we finish transferring all the components and putting the new screen on, this is a shot of where we are going through. You know, one of the other things we do with a full service repair is the vibrate motor, just normal jostling of the phone, and also the vibration from the Taptic engine here can loosen these screws. So one of the things we do when we have the phone open is we'll go in and tighten up all the screws in here. If there's any damage around the perimeter of the frame, the little bezel that's very fine tip that kind of comes up and marries with the edge of the screen assembly is dinged in around the perimeters, we also do frame correction to make sure, for a couple of reasons. One, to make sure that the screen fits properly and adheres to the screen adhesive. But also, you know, if you have dings in here and you don't make the correction, file them smooth or knock them back out and make it, you know, a nice smooth edge, and you do get the screen to fit properly without breaking it during the installation, then you're going to have a pressure point. So, you know, imagine a nice smooth edge here, and if you've got a nice ding here on the corner, you're going to have a pressure point. So the next time you drop the phone, it's going to be twice as likely to break because you've got a pressure point on it. So here, you know, during the process of reassembly, we're putting a nice brand new screen gasket in there. You know, even though we can't consider it water resistant, if Apple won't consider it water resistant, we're sure not going to take the responsibility, but we still do our part to try to put back the phone as close to new as it was when it was new, or as close to how Apple assembled it as possible. And so now that I've removed the little blue covering, now you can see this is the actual adhesive, and you can see how nicely it's fitting into that frame. You don't see any dings around this perimeter. And then coming down the long sides of it, you can see. So in summary, you know, in addition to this that we don't have pictures of, because it's kind of hard to take pictures, we also do a lot of other things, like we clean out the charge port, we clean out the mesh. You know, one of the things you don't do with a normal screen or battery repair is you don't necessarily change the speaker meshes, because you have to take out the charge port and other things for that. But we also externally, we try to clean out the speaker meshes and a lot of other ancillary work to the phone as much as possible to make it the best screen repair. So when you're getting, especially if nothing else, just this picture, if nothing else, just looking at all the different photos of what can go wrong or what crappy parts you can use, consider paying that extra $30 or $50 or even $100 for your, you know, one of your most coveted possessions that you carry with you all the time, every day, and rely on it to do your daily needs. Don't skimp when it comes to repairs or even buying a quality phone, because there's a lot of gotchas out here. So don't go for the jackleg, quick wham bam thank you ma'am repair. Spend a little bit extra money, get you a full service repair from Marlowe Services. Thanks for watching.